So, welcome everyone. I am so incredibly thrilled for all of you that could get on live. And if you're watching the recording, then welcome. For those of you that don't know myself, my name is Ange. I am the founder of the Gratitude Project. And I am very lucky to know Scott Harris personally. I have done one of his coaching workshops. I've seen him speak. And I just know him to be an incredible coach of coaches. For those of you who know the personal development space, Scott has worked with and also still works with every single leader on the planet. He is actually known as being the #1 speaker in the world. He works side by side with people like Tony Robbins. He's also worked with Robert Kiyosaki, Brendon, Burchard, Richard Branson, the list goes on and on and on. And basically, when he isn't at home with his beautiful 4 kids and his family, he's traveling the world speaking at every single one of Tony Robbins' events ever, I'm pretty sure. But Scott is about making content real, teaching you the usable strategies that you can apply in real life. As I said, he's a parent, he works from home, and he, like all of us, just wants really immediate and effective results. He definitely has a no BS approach. He's authentic, he's genuine. And again, I'm so honored that I get to share him with you. So I'm going to get off the screen and welcome Scott. Thank you so much for being here. Take it away with all of your amazing magic.
Thank you, Ange, and welcome. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you happen to be. If you're live, I see lots of you are pretty central to Southeast Queensland or on the eastern seaboard. If you're watching from someone else, equally thank you, and just thanks for taking some time out of your busy evening. Like me, we're parents, most of us, and we're running our businesses from home. And whilst some of what Anne said is true, I do speak on stage around the world. The thing that I most am proud about in my working life the last 25 years is that I've consistently chosen my core values over business success. So my business could be in the tens and tens and tens of millions, and it's not, because I've consistently chosen to put my values first. And so, like you, I work out of the spare room of my house. Like you, I work for the last 12 years with a kid in the background that needed a nappy changing, or a 3-year-old that needed to do some puzzles, or a 5-year-old that needed some reading attention. So I've learned some things the last 20 years about how to do that. I do get to travel a little bit, 10 or 12 times a year, although not right now. And so I just said to Ange the other day, I said, listen, let me come share some stuff with your people about 2 things. Number one, why I think working from home is the coolest thing in the world. I love the lockdown. I think it's awesome. It's like compulsory get to stay home with the people you love the most and do all the things you want to do. So let me give you some key beliefs and reasons why I think it's a really cool opportunity. And then also give you some strategies about how you can make it a better, more effective experience. And at the end, and I'll be quick tonight, I'm going to go super fast. We'll open it up and you can ask questions if you like about anything you want. I can tell you lots about what I do. I do coach coaches, as Ange said. I do lots of business coaching, probably coach, 12, 15,000 businesses a year. I do a little bit of high-end one-on-one coaching, but mostly I just love hanging out with my wife and our 4 children, who are 12, 10, 8, and 6. That wasn't mathematically planned. It was just good luck. And then we worked out what was causing it, so we stopped it. Ange, I'm going to go fast. Whenever you need to be slow down, put your thumbs up or thumbs down or something. Let's start with this. If you know anything at all about anything, you know that reasons and beliefs come first and actions and strategies come second. If I want to lose some weight, there's no point scooting down to Lorna Jane and getting some gear and then crossing over to Lululemon and getting some pants and then joining up at the gym. That's all strategies. If I haven't yet got reasons and beliefs about why I love my body and want to take care of myself and want to nurture myself. It's pretty simple. If you want to make some money, there's no point buying an online program or joining a team like Angela's Business, or buying some How to Make $1 Million in 5 Minutes program if you haven't yet first got some reasons and beliefs about why you want to do that. I could do this analogy all day, every day. Any result we want has to start with reasons and beliefs. Most people start with strategy. Most people are asking, tell me what to do. And what they should be asking is, why do I want to do this? So let's start with that. Let's start with, why is working from home the coolest thing in the world? Why is the lockdown the coolest thing in the world? I should preface this conversation by saying this. There's kind of 3 areas of focus you can focus on. There's things that you can change. There's things we can't change. And there's some things we can influence. Now, you and I can't change Scotty Morrison. We can't change the stupid laws about I can't go boating. We can't change the global economy. We cannot change the rules about leaving the house and all of those things. So there's literally no point worrying about them. I would ban all of you right now watching this live or in person from any more than 12 to 15 minutes of news a day. There's nothing else on there. There's no sport to report. Who cares about the weather? There's nothing I need to know about what Boris Yeltsin's doing or about what Donald Trump was doing. I need 10 to 12 minutes, and that's it. I don't need to be watching news at 10:30 at night, because I cannot control anything that's about. What I can control is some stuff that's in my physical domain. That means in my house, in my apartment. So, and then I'll talk about this big influence bit at the end. For now, let's start with my top 5 reasons why I love working from home. My top 5 reasons why I've been doing it for 25 years. I made more than $10 million in the last 5 years working out of the spare room of my house. Why would you want an office and staff and all the nonsense that goes with that? So here's the first reason. The first reason why I love working from home, and I share this with you so you can create your top 5 reasons. If you haven't got 5 reasons why you love the lockdown, if you haven't got 5 reasons why you love working from home, if you haven't got 5 reasons why you love the environment you're building, you're crazy. You need these first. So you can steal these and borrow them, or you can make up your own, but these are just quickly what mine are. Number 1, holy smokes. I think there's an extra M there. No commute. There's no driving. There's no traffic. There's no parking. There's no getting in the car. There's no silly morning radio. Have you listened to morning radio? Holy smokes. One of my friends is a morning radio DJ. It's horrible. No commute. That's my number 1 reason. I don't like to drive. I got a phone call from my accountant about 3 years ago, and they said, Scotty, we can't use your car registered in your business anymore. You're only doing 5,000 kilometers a year. It doesn't qualify as a business expense. So I love that there's no commute. For me, that's a bonus. I want to be barefoot or in my Birkenstocks and walk from the kitchen bench down the hallway into my bedroom and be in my office. That's the first thing. Number 2, the second reason why I love working from home is because you have more time. We literally right now have been rid of the biggest excuse we have for not getting stuff done. The biggest excuse we say of why I haven't built my business, or I haven't worked out more, or why I haven't learned guitar, or why I haven't written my book, is I haven't got any time. We have more time now than we've ever had before. You're not driving. You're not picking up kids and dropping them off. Holy smokes, that bit I don't miss. We're not going to soccer and gymnastics and doing things. We're not shopping around the center for 2 hours. We're not going to the restaurants and the food courts. We literally have more time now than we've ever had before. If you can't learn to tap dance or play guitar or learn some new recipes in the next 2 to 3, 4 months, I don't know what you're doing. There's only so much Netflix you can watch. The third reason why I love being at home and working from home is I have complete control over my environment. So I have the ability to turn on my salt candles that make that beautiful color. I like a bit of smell in my room, so I've got the oils burning. I like some mint oil, peppermint oil in the room to spark me up. I can control the music. I can control the sounds. If I want a mirror on the wall, I like calendars on the wall with schedules. I can have motivational quotes. I can be in my barefoot. I can be in my Birkenstocks. I love having complete control over my working environment. I don't know about you, but if I'm going to be effective and work really well, I want to know that this environment, in terms of its smell, its sound, its feel, and its touch, is set up the way that I want it to be. So I love complete control over that. The fourth reason, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on this call or not, and so I'll write the polite version, but the other reason I love working from home is there's no dickheads. Oh, idiots. There's no idiots. And by that I mean, I don't have to have any fake relationships. I don't have to pretend that I like the lady or the man in the office next door. I don't have to have stupid conversations in the coffee machine with people that I only know because we're in a structured work environment. I love not doing any of that shit. I'm too old for that. I'm 52. I haven't got time for fake nonsense relationships. So I love that I'm not working with idiots and people that I have to pretend to be nice to. And then the fifth reason why I would only ever work from home seems the most obvious, and that is the people I love are next door. So for me, the 5 people I love the most are literally 8 to 10 steps away. And so it's like there's a kid there somewhere that needs a cuddle or a wrestle. There's a wife somewhere that needs a kiss or some connection. And I'm with my family all day, every day. And when I give you 3 strategies in a minute, this will make a lot of sense, because if you're working from home, you've got to be including access to this in your daily work schedule. So for me, that's my top 5 reasons. And they are the 5 reasons why I would never, ever want to not work from home and set up my business and my life and my family to all be in one environment. Now, and just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay, if this is working. Can you see me? Is it all good? Great. So outside of that, let me just give you 3. Oh, my computer's doing something funky, so just excuse me while I play with it. Oh, look at that. Let me give you 3 very, very simple strategies that if I was coaching you, and I kind of am, as Ange said, my style is direct. So sometimes I mentor people and I make suggestions, and sometimes I tell people what to do. So I'm telling you what to do here. Okay? I know we haven't met, we've only met once. Just do these 3 things. They're so guaranteed to work. Okay, so I'm trial and error. I've done that bit for you. Don't trial and error these bits. Just do them. And the first is, you must have a schedule. It's not optional. For some of you, it's brand new that you're home from right now. Or some of you, it's not brand new, but it's new that your kids are with you, because usually the kids are out the door at 8:15 or 7:45, and they don't come back till 3:45. You have to have a schedule. I've coached hundreds of people to get to their dream life, and most people's dream life when they're in the corporate world is, Scott, I want to start my own business and learn how to make money online so I can work from home. And I always say to them, be very careful what you wish for. The responsibility to respect and manage your time is one of the biggest responsibilities any human being can take on. And most of us are not qualified to do it. I know that sounds harsh. And so what happens is you waste your time. Let me ask you this. How many of you have had a big handful of time, and because you didn't direct it, because you didn't focus it, because you didn't think about where it was going, you looked around after a little bit and that time had slipped through your fingers? Has anybody done that in any way, shape or form? Or is that just me and Ange? It's just me and Ange, nobody else. No, I'm kidding. Of course it is. That's what we do. So we can do that with a day. We can do that with a week. And I'm not going to ask you this, but certainly I've done this before. Me personally, when I've coached people, rarely when somebody leaves a job, or worse, rarely when someone leaves a relationship or a marriage, rarely when they finally leave, rarely do they say, oh gosh, I'm so glad I stayed that long. That was brilliant. Rarely do they say that. What they usually say is, holy smokes, why didn't I do that 6 months ago, 12 months ago, a year ago? So let's get back on track. You must have a schedule. Pre-decide. I haven't got a tattoo, but if you're getting one, that's the word to get. Pre-decide. When you pre-decide, it means in the moment, you don't have to decide. So you pre-decide on a Sunday night, on a Monday morning, you've got a quiet hour or two, sit down and sort of map out your week best you can. And we'll chat about how to do that if you like. But map it out. You're going to work out here. We're all working out from home right now. We've all got a Swiss ball and a medicine ball and a jumping rope and I'm so old, a skipping rope, a yoga mat. We've got someone on video we're watching. We're doing burpees and star jumps. We're all doing it. So you've got to work out in the morning. You've probably got a couple of hours work to do. If you've got children at home like I do, we've got 4 at home. You've got some schooling work to do. You probably want to do some activities. Today we made apple strudel and shortbread cookies. You want to have some fun, have a swim in the pool, jump on the trampoline. You've got to schedule all that out. You can't just be thinking, I'll wake up in the morning and see how I feel. It's just not how it works. Your brain does not work that way. So just decide now, I'm going to have a schedule every day. And if I could coach you on this, I'd encourage you to have the same schedule every day. So if you're going to be a beach family, great, get up and do your beach from 6:30 till 8, and then do breakfast from 8 till 9, and then do school from 9 till 12, and then do play from 12 till 3, and then do TV and books from 3 till 5, and get some continuity and routine to that. Human beings, little ones and big ones, function better with routine and system. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of skitchy skitch doesn't work. doesn't work for our brain. We like routine and system and regularity. And what it does is it allows us to elevate our thinking. And the reason it allows us to elevate our thinking is because I don't have to think about what's next, because I already know what's coming. I already know what's next, because it's the same as what we did yesterday. And so because I don't have to waste brain power thinking on what am I going to do next, I don't think about that. It's in the schedule. It's the same every day. It allows me to elevate my thinking and my communication and my clarity, because I'm not bogged down in the fog. So just get a schedule. Now, as you're getting a schedule, if I could coach you, don't overschedule. The classic mistake that all beginners make is they overschedule. Go, right, 6:15 to 6:30, brush teeth at 6:30 to 6:45, do facial 6:45 to 7, get ready for breakfast. Don't overschedule. Just schedule loosely in chunks. If there's 5 things you want to focus on every day, there's probably 5. Something to do with health, relationships, kids, work, and self. Something like that. That's 5 good hours of chunking. Put that in the calendar. Go, great. This is when I'm doing those particular 4 or 5 things. Don't overschedule. Now, here's a tattoo to get for yourself. Once you've done a schedule, just trust me on this. It'll give you all the freedom emotionally in the world that you want. Let the schedule be the boss. And that means for me, during the day, I don't ask questions about what I want to do or how do I feel or what needs doing. I don't ask those questions. I just look on the schedule. The schedule says 7:30 tonight, be on Angie's call. Great, just be on the call. So I'm having dinner at 6 o'clock, and the kids know, and my wife knew, because it's all on the calendar. Everybody sees the calendar. At 7:15, Dad has to go and put a fresh t-shirt on and go do the call. I just let your calendar be the boss. If the calendar says 10 till 12, we're doing schoolwork with the kids, then just do the schoolwork. And don't go, oh, I don't feel like it, or can we do it? Just do it. And if it says, 12 to 1, have lunch, then just have lunch. And allow the schedule to be in charge. It's very freeing and allows you to emotionally unhook from this process of having to make decisions all day. You don't want to be making decisions all day. It exhausts you and wears you out. You only want to make 3 or 4 big decisions a day. And that certainly doesn't need to be about what am I doing and when am I doing it. Pre-decide that a week in advance, lock at your calendar, and then it's done. Now, the second thing I would do is, for working from home, whether your house is large or small, is you must have physical zones. And I'm trying to sound military here, but if you've got a small space or a big space, either way, it doesn't matter. But like, for example, we have a round breakfast table. We eat breakfast at it. It's the breakfast table. But at 8:30 now, it's the school table. Now, it's pretty simple. Finish your eggs, finish your smoothie, finish whatever you're eating. It has to get all packed up and put away. And then in our house, out comes 4 little boxes with 4 little bags. There's 2 laptops and an iPad. They all get out their gear and they set up and they work from 8:30 till 12:30. It's pretty simple. About the middle of that, 10:30, they go outside and play and have fruit break, the same as they would at school. And at 12:30, before we make lunch, that whole thing gets packed up. Nothing's left out. It's all packed back into 4 bags, back into 4 boxes. The boxes are pushed away. It then becomes a lunch table. And in the afternoon, it generally becomes covered in paint and glue, a hot glue gun, sparkles and gel, and it becomes the craft table. If you are working from home, do not have your work crap spread all over your bedroom. Don't have it on the bed and on the side table. Don't be brushing your teeth, looking at some document or some contract or some spreadsheet or whatever. You want to keep those spaces and zones for what they're designed to be. Now, if you have to work from your office, if you have to work from your home, great. Go into your bedroom, close the door, set it up for 45 minutes, do your calls, do your posting, do your meetings, do your one-on-ones, pack everything up, put it back in your carry bag, put it on the side of the bed or put it back downstairs or put it down the hallway and have your bedroom return back to a bedroom. Same thing with working out. If you're working out right now, you've got to move the coffee table or you got to set up on the back porch. I'm doing the back porch in my house. Move the stuff, get your yoga mat out, do your thing, get your bands, get your Swiss ball, do your exercises, pack it all back up, put it away, and then have that space going back to what it is. Don't be lazy and say, well, I'll just leave that stuff there because I'm going to use it tomorrow. What happens is your house gets a bit messy. And all of a sudden you got work stuff on the bed and you got yoga mats on the lounge room floor. And you got a computer on the kitchen desk while you're trying to make a lunch sandwich and make a smoothie. I'm telling you, your brain doesn't function very well like that. I'm not trying to sound military or regimented. I promise you, it actually frees you up. It actually frees up. And if you think about the Montessori way of learning or the Steiner way of learning, if any of you sent your kids to those schools, kids can do whatever they want. But they have to go to the cupboard, get a toy out, play with it, pack it away, put the toy back, and then they choose to go and do something else. It's exactly the same. So really set yourself up with zones, particularly if you've got a small amount of space. It'll make the experience be so much more freer and cleaner. I don't want to just sort of let my colors blur, if you will, from sort of working out to being with the kids a little bit to going back over here and doing some work a little bit. It's not an experience that's going to be effective or make me feel fulfilled. Now, some of you will say, well, Scott, you understand, I got a 1-year-old at home. I'll come to that conversation in a minute. The third thing I would do, 3 quick strategies. I'd have a schedule. I'd have zones. I totally would recognize and understand that I need breaks. And so I would plan for them. I'm telling you right now, the longest the human brain can function is about 50 minutes. If you're trying to do something for more than 50 minutes, you're not being effective. We can do a bell curve on your productivity and your effectiveness. You're kidding yourself. You can't read fit for more than 2 hours. You can't do taxes or paperwork or look at your computer or internet research or marketing, or it doesn't work. You're not effective. So plan to work 50 minutes and then go take a break. Go eat an apple, go wrestle with a kid, or go play with a kid, or go put a load of washing on. Go do something else for 10 or 15 minutes. Be effective and productive in that other thing for 10 or 15 minutes. And then come back to whatever you need to go and do. And I'll tell you what will happen. When you know that there's a break coming up, you're more effective knowing that it's coming. The old story I like to say is, how many of you, I want you to think about the day before, or maybe the day of, you're about to go on a trip. So you're about to catch a plane, you're about to get in a car and drive somewhere. How many of you could do 3 days of work in one day if it's the day you have to leave to go somewhere? How many can do that? Of course you can. And so people are like, oh my God. And think about the hour before you leave. Like the shuttle man's coming to pick you up at 2 o'clock. That last hour, you can get a lot done because you know the shuttle guy's coming at 2 o'clock. So for me, I'm like, okay, great. It's 10 o'clock. I want to be with the kid. Like this morning, quick example. So this morning we're having breakfast, no schoolwork today. And the kids said, oh, you want to go to the beach? I said, great, let's go to the beach. But I had a call at 12 o'clock. So I said to the kids, great, you guys are going to be ready at 10:30. I was on a call at 10 o'clock. The call was ending at 10:30. I said, we've got 90 minutes, we can go to the beach. Man, those kids were ready at 10:25. At 10:30, I hung up my call. We got in the car. We had 75 minutes at the beach, and I was back home at about 10 to 12, fresh T-shirt on, back onto Skype, and one more quick phone call. And it's because they knew about the schedule. It was because they knew about zones. This is where Dad works. This is how we go and play. And it's because they knew that Dad likes to take breaks, and he knows when those breaks are going to be. Now, just make some noise. How many of you have got kids that that live in your house while you're working from home? Has we all got kids? Everyone's got kids? Of course we have. Great. So it's your responsibility and my responsibility to train our kids. And I've worked at home with all of my kids. We had 4 under 6. Now it's easy because we've got 4 and they are 6, 8, 10, and 12. But it's our responsibility to train our kids. So if I give you 2 lessons, I guess, on training your kids. And one is easy, and that is, if they're over 2, even 1.5, my first lesson is to talk to them about money, work, and business. My first lesson is from the minute they're 1.5, 2 years old. The minute they're old enough to ask for a Barbie doll or one of those little Kinder Surprises, or they want something, they're old enough to start talking about money and where does it come from, and work and what is work, and what is business, and why does mommy or daddy work from home, and what is mommy or daddy doing when they're on their computer or they're on their phone. And I literally, from the very, very early days of my kids' existence, was talking to them about these 3 things about, well, Dad, can we have a sushi roll? Of course you have a sushi roll. That's $12, thanks. Do you know where $12 comes from? No. Well, it comes from the ATM. But where does the money come from? Well, Daddy has to go to work. when I go to work and I do this thing, I get paid and the money goes in the ATM and that's how daddy can get it and I can buy the sushi. And I literally have been explaining to my children from a very early age about money and where it comes from, and what it's for, how money pays for the house and the lights and the water. I remember going to my kids' grade when they were in prep. It was bring a dad to school day. So dads would come in and they were a policeman and they were an ambulance driver and they were a plumber and they were a teacher. And my dad's like, oh. My son's like, I got to bring my dad in. That's not very exciting. And I brought in hundreds of dollars of cash stuck to posters, different denominations of coins and notes. And we talked about money and where did it come from and what it's for. And these kids were in prep and almost nobody in the class realized that their mum and dad had to pay money to the school for the kids to come to school. The kids were like, whoa, I didn't know that. And I remember asking the kids, I said, what do you think you should do when you go home tonight? Mum and dad are both at work and some of their money they're making is to pay for your house and some of it is to bring you to school. And a bunch of the little kids said, I think I should thank mum and dad because I love coming to school. Now they're in prep. They might not say that in grade 5. So that's the first thing I would do. Talk to them about what money is and why mum needs to work and why dad needs to work. I'm not just sitting on my phone. I'm not ignoring you. Daddy has a business to run. And part of that business is I have to talk to people. So I just need 20 minutes right now. I'm going to schedule it. You can go play with the iPad or you can go read a book or go play with your brother. I need 20 minutes to do this, to do my work. And when I finish, I'll take a break and we'll go do some playing. Give them that information. Let them know when the break is coming. Let them know when you need to work and why you're working and what work is for. Don't just assume that their brain knows what that is or that their brain can't understand that. That's the first thing I do. And the second thing I would do as your children are over, and over means really 5. Once they're 5, I would talk to them about the no blood rule. It is one of my favorites. And the no blood rule says this. Ange knows this one. There will be times, and for one of those, it's right now. My door's closed. So I work literally in the spare bedroom of my house. And my children know if the door's open, come on in. Come on in, have a chat. Hey, Dad, what are you doing? And they always go, Dad, are you finished, Dad? I'm like, I look at the calendar. Dad, can you play table tennis with me? We're not finished. But they know if the door is shut, and they've been trained, if the door is shut, they are not allowed to open the door unless there is blood. Now, when we first made this rule, I think Ange had the same example, I'd have the kids go, oh, Dad, I got some blood on my elbow. So they knock on the door and they'd interrupt a Skype call or they interrupt a Zoom call. I have to excuse myself to the client and go and tend to the child. Now, the rule is, unless there's blood gushing from your head and it's pouring onto the kitchen floor, do not open the door. And that might sound harsh or a bit dramatic, but now my kids just know if the door's shut, Dad needs to work. They know it won't be forever. They know it'll be about 50 minutes because that's about all Dad's calls take. That's about how long Dad works before he takes a break. Mum too. When Mum's doing her business and doing her calls and doing her coaching, it's kind of the same. The door's shut. She's a sliding door in her office. It's like, don't open the door. If the door's open, you can come in. If the door's closed, you could not come in. And my belief is that how many of you want your kids to be responsible? Just type yes or no if you'd like your kids to be responsible. Great, so most of us. So here's the thought. The only way that children can learn to be responsible is to be given some responsibility. Now that means they're going to stuff it up. But that's the only way they can learn to be responsible, is to give them responsibility. So I can remember in our house when we finally got to our last kid being 4 years old, I said to my wife one day, we're going to stop using plastic cups. It's just stupid. It's stupid that adults drink water out of really nice, beautiful, we drink water out of these beautiful crystal glasses. When you get to be a certain age, people buy you glasses for your birthday because that's all they can buy you. So we're going to throw all the plastic cups away and we're going to use beautiful, $50 and $60 crystal glasses to drink our water out of, because that's what I do, and the children should be able to do the same. And they're probably going to break some. But how they will learn to treat those glasses responsibly is by breaking one or two. And so rather than waiting until they're ready, I want to give them the responsibility before they're ready. And that's how they learn to be responsible. And remember, when your office door is shut and you're busy working for 50 minutes on your business, or you're doing a one-on-one conversation, or you're having a meeting, or you're doing your taxes, the kids only have one outcome. There's only one outcome for them. Stay alive. That's it. That's everything that has to happen. As long as they're alive, when the door opens in an hour's time, you've been effective. You had a great meeting or a great Skype call or whatever it's to be. They've survived the hour. Nobody died. Yes, there's a mess and there was a few hair pullings and pinchings going on, but nobody died. And trust me, they'll walk a little bit more. And they'll feel a little bit better about, oh, it's fine. Mum's just working. She's busy making money, running her business, and we're taking care of each other. And you give them more and more, and that's how they grow. I think I might have just got muted. No, we're good. So that's kind of like two things on parenting. Now, if you got little kids, 6 months, 12 months, they're breastfeeding. My wife was 12 months, they're breastfeeding. My wife was. The sound's just gone funny. Is it okay? Is it okay at your end, Ange? Yep. She was a rock star. I've been teaching seminars in front of 1,000 people and had a little kid in my carry sleeve here, or been feeding a kid or whatever it is to be. So I understand the reality of small babies. What I would suggest to you is that very often the biggest limitation to our children being free from us is our fear about them being free from us and not theirs. Trust me, they'll be fine. Give them a book, give them a carrot, give them some hummus. Trust me, they'll be okay. We had dinner served to us tonight by our beautiful 10-year-old daughter, Grace, who made the entire Mexican meal from scratch, beans and guacamole and salsa and the whole kind of thing. And it's not because she's a genius. It's not because she's gifted. It's because at 5 years old in our house, you're allowed to use the stove. And when you tell some people that your 5-year-old can use the stove, they're like, what are you talking about? They'll get burnt. I'm like, yeah, only 2 or 3 times. Once they get burnt 2 or 3 times, they don't get burnt anymore. Once they start on porridge and baked beans, they get their hands burnt a few times. It doesn't happen anymore. So talk to your kids about money. Let them know why you're looking at your phone. Let them know why you're up late at night. Let them know why you want to build a business and not have a job. Let them know that when you have a job, mum doesn't have any control over where she goes or when she does it. She has to be told what to do. But when she has a business, she can choose what she wants to do. She can choose to be home. She can choose to have breaks. And she can choose to make money while she's with her family. And then train them that sometimes it's mummy time. Sometimes it's daddy time. And the door is closed and you need to not come in because mummy's doing something really important. That's kind of my 2 bits on parenting while you're running from business front. And trust me, they'll be fine. So I'm going to be quiet, Ange, because you said be half an hour. It's been 35 minutes. I'm going to stop. You can either ask questions, you can hang up on me and say goodbye, or we can do whatever you like.
I love that. I don't think that we need to stop at all. I think it would be great if anyone does have questions. I would encourage you to either bring yourself off mute, or if you're not comfortable, obviously you can type it in the chat box, but I think bringing yourself off mute is definitely a good thing to do. It's not very often that we have access to such an incredible speaker, mentor, parent, in my opinion. You've given me a lot of parenting advice already. So who wants to ask a question?
I'll just preface it while you're doing that.
Yeah.
I had 3 dads before I was 10, and one of them was well-intentioned and none of them were very good. And my mother was ridiculous. I love parenting. Now, she wasn't a crack whore or did drugs, but she was useless. I've read 40 books in the first 10 or 11 years I've been parenting, and have really studied it, probably got half a dozen parenting mentors. I think parenting is a lost art, and I think it's as important as is your focus on your health, and as is your focus on your money, and as is your focus on your relationship. You don't have a great marriage without focusing on it. You don't have a great business without focusing on it. You don't have great health without focusing on it. And you don't have happy, whole, well-balanced kids without focusing on it. Like, it's pretty simple. So that means it requires time and energy and money to get a good outcome. It requires time and energy and money to take care of your body. You've got to eat organic food and buy yoga mats and work out. It takes time and money and energy to build a business. You've got to invest and start up and have costs and do marketing and whatever. It takes time and energy and money to build a great marriage and put time into looking good and having date nights and buying gifts and rubbing each other's feet and whatever it is you want to do. And, you know, holding your tongue when you want to say something and not saying it. It takes time and energy and money to raise happy, whole kids. Not perfect kids, not high achieving kids, but just happy, whole kids that like themselves and feel valued. So it's a place that's close to my heart. So I got some questions. I got to move this here. Got to remember, I'm probably the oldest person on this call. Hey, Scott, got any advice or structure around younger children who are normally at kinder when you want to avoid screen time but still need to work yourself? Well, yes. I will say this. So we had no screens for the first 10 years of our parenting at all. My boy is 12. He just got a phone at the start of this school year, and he got it just for pickups and drop-offs and soccer training and so on. Nobody has iPads. We just did 7 months last year in Europe with no school. We did no school for 7 months, and we took one iPad away with us to watch a movie once a week. My wife and I didn't take our phones. Some of you will fall off your chair when I say that. We did not take our phones. We bought 2 brand new burner phones while we were away that we used for Google Maps and for that app that's when you're looking for food. I forget what it's called. When you're looking for food, whatever that one's called, when you're trying to find the restaurant nearby. So I'm not a big fan of technology. So honestly, let them play. Now that might mean there's some mess. So younger kids, telling you right now, I remember reading a great article. Their 5 favorite toys are not an iPad, a PS4, and a TV. Their 5 favorite toys are a stick, a hose, some dirt, a ball, and some string. So like, give them that. Give them some dirt and a stick and a hose and some buckets and let them do that. They don't need iPads. I didn't have an iPad. You didn't have an iPad. You had to, when I was a kid, we grew up in Frankston, for God's sake, and we drive to Queensland for a holiday. My God, I managed to survive for 3 days in the car without watching a movie because I just got annoyed by my brother, or I played I Spy, or I slept, or I complained for 3 days. I didn't need to watch 4 hours of movies a day while I sat in the car. So I would just say, honestly, give them tools. And tools means a stick, you know, the stainless steel bowls you use to make your salad or cookie in. They make great drum sets with the wooden spoons. Our kids play with ice all the time. Give them a hose. Let them make mess. Let them make noise. And they don't need screen time. They really, really don't, is my belief. And if you train them, and because to be clear, kids have to be trained to watch screens. They have to be trained. Their normal state of nature is to be mobile and move. They have to be trained into this zombie-like trance where they're just staring at a screen. And not to be too dramatic, but this is important, the World Health Organization, which has pretty low standards, the World Health Organization looks at health standards in third world countries. Their minimum standard is that any child under 2 that's looking at a screen is damaging the growth of their brain. That's a big sentence. Now, I'm not judging. I'm just saying people smarter than me reckon 2-year-olds shouldn't look at screens. There's no reason for a 5-year-old to be looking at a screen. Books, sticks, toys, dirt, cooking, apple, paint, mess, hoses, clothes pegs, like tents, building forts, chairs, sheets. Now, your house will be messy. My house is messy. If you come to my house, you're going to step on Lego. I'm just letting you know. Like, you're stepping on Lego. It's messy. My house doesn't look like Donna Hay lives here. My wife and I do not live like that. It's clean, but it's messy. So that's kind of my coaching on that. I don't know if that helps at all or not. Oh, talk about the phone. Phone's easy. Where's my phone? There's a couple of places this never goes. So it never, ever, 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 ever goes in your bedroom at all, unless you're using it for fun. Otherwise, it doesn't go in your bedroom. If you're using it for work, it doesn't go in your bedroom. It's just the stupid, stupid idea. And if you've got a toy room or a playroom, it doesn't go in there. You go into the toy room or the playroom to do Lego and play with Barbies. It doesn't come to the kitchen table. It doesn't come to the school table. When you come to the table, your breakfast tables become your school table. It doesn't come there. You pick it up and you work. You work for 20 minutes because your schedule says work for 20 minutes. So you do your DMs, your PMs, whatever it is to be, and then you put it down. You don't have notifications turned on. You take your break and you go and do 20 minutes over here, which is called be engaged with your kid or cook dinner or do laundry. Don't be mishmatching. I am in control of this. This is not in control of me. Learn to put it down. You won't die. You don't need to pick. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be looking at my phone for the first 30 or 45 minutes of the day. When you first wake up, I want to be refreshed. I want to be focused on what I want to focus on. I want to do my workout. I want to drink some water. I want to go cuddle my kids. I want to cuddle my wife. There's 30 things I could think of that I would rather do in that first 45, 60 minutes of the day to check my phone. That is literally an absurd, addictive habit. Like literally that's like waking up and putting a cigarette in your mouth. You wouldn't do that. That'd be stupid. You shouldn't be waking up and grabbing your phone and looking at it. You don't need it for an alarm. You can buy a $20 alarm clock that winds up. You don't need to check fucking what Donald Trump said last night. Nobody cares. So just remember, I control the phone, not the phone controls me. I know that helps. How we doing, Ange? Okay.
We are doing great. This is so good. So as long as you've got, as far as you want to go deep into the questions that are up with a little bit, go nuts. Do you want me to read them out to you?
The phone is not addictive. Just to be clear, there's nothing in the phone that's addictive. There is the beliefs that we've made up about what's happening in the phone. Trust me, when you play checkers with your kid for 20 minutes, or you make spaghetti sauce, as I did with my son Wisdom last night, trust me, 30 minutes of making spaghetti together without looking at your phone is a profoundly connective experience for you and your 12-year-old son. Or if you're doing a jigsaw with your 5-year-old boy, 20 minutes of doing a jigsaw without even having your phone near you, not beside you, but not even near you. They can see when it's next to you. They can see when you look at it. If it's over there on the kitchen bench and you for 20 minutes are just doing a jigsaw puzzle, they feel that. And they feel like for these 20 minutes, I mattered and mum loved me. That's what they feel. And then when it's time to go back to the phone, go back. Punch out 30 DMs or 30 PMs or 2 tweets or whatever you're going to do, then put it down again. Trust me, it's way more effective. Bit of a crazy time to start your business. How do you go around selling your value in a challenging time? Look, in new business, whatever it is, if your business is Ange's business, which is a great business, if the business is coaching, which is my business, trust me. The only businesses that aren't doing well right now are traditional brick and mortar businesses. I mean, I've got friends that are in the stock market business is going crazy. I've got people that are in obviously multi-level marketing and direct sailings. Obviously, business is going crazy. Businesses that are retail and traditional aren't doing so well. Businesses that do live events and training, which is some of my partners aren't doing so well. Right now, people are looking for more. They're looking for more opportunity and more new things than they've ever looked at before. And certainly, screen time is growing through the roof. So I would say to you this. You got to use your screen time to get connected to people. That's how you prove your value. And you cannot be overproducing content. I always say to people, how long is a great movie? And the answer is obvious. How long is a great movie? Someone tell me. How long is a great movie? Someone said 2 to 3 hours, 90 minutes. These are not the right answers. 1.5 hours. Doesn't matter how long it is. Yes, thank you very much. Rachel, it depends entirely on how good it is. If it's engaging and spectacular, it doesn't matter if the movie's 3 hours long. I'm a Lord of the Rings geek and a fan. I apologize. I've read the books a dozen times, each one of them. I could quote them for you. I won't because it's a bit geeky. I can watch all 3 back to back. It's 9.5 hours. And then I watch the extended version. It's amazing. If I'm watching a bad movie, 75 minutes can be too long. Like sometimes when you put a movie on, and particularly now given we've got Netflix and Stan and Prime Amazon and all the other facilities, sometimes you put a movie on and in the first 2 minutes, like when the font comes on with the with the opening, you're like, oh, it's already going to be bad. Like it's already bad just as it opened. So if you're trying to build your business right now and present your brand and your value and what it is you do, make lots of noise about it. Sing your song, beat your drum, post your posts. And as long as they're good, and as long as they're valuable, you can't do it too much. More people in more countries are looking at more screens for more minutes than ever before in the history of the world. Make your stuff be good. Make it be engaging. Make it be funny. Make it be entertaining. Make it be valuable. Make it be curious. Make it be playful. Make it be educational. Make it be informative. But don't make it be bad. If it's bad, people will turn it off. But if it's good, and all those other big words I just used, people will love it and they'll find you and they'll come buy your stuff. Be clear. All the money that existed in the economy 3 weeks ago still exists. It didn't disappear. So if you understand economics and monetary policy, they've stopped the game being played right now, but all the money is still there. And the minute they push the big green button and the circus starts again, all the money will be there again. It's not like the money went away. Just the confidence to support it has gone. And as soon as either an antidote or a drug has been found to cure the virus, or as soon as the virus has ceased in its spread and governments push the big green button, the circus will start again and everybody's businesses will go like crazy because all the money is still there. It just stopped moving. So hope that kind of helps. So with that, I might just wrap that up. I don't want to go too long and go too crazy.
All good.
Yes, I've looked at suggestions. Oh, books on boys and girls. Okay, this will be my last one. Everyone says, what book should I read? My answer is all of them. Children go in stages. 0 to 5 is a certain sort of education. 5 to 10, 0 to 5, they need to learn one thing. They're unconditionally loved, usually by their mom. 5 to 10, children need to learn how to create social relationships. So mom, you've got to let go of them. They've got to have a babysitter. They've got to go to grandma's house. They've got to learn to go to kindy. They need to learn to form relationships with other human beings and learn about the rules of that. You can't hit, you can't bite, you can't spit. You've got to be nice. If you be nice, they'll be nice back to you. They have to learn that. They can't learn that if they're hanging out with you too much. That's 5 to 10. 10 to 15, they have to learn who they are themselves. So that by 15, they should be able to leave you and be okay. By 15, they should have worked out, okay, well, this is who I am and this is what I'm about and this is what I stand for. That's 10 to 15. So depending on where your kid is in that cycle is going to determine what it is you need to read. Then it's, do I have boys? Do I have girls? Boys and girls are different. I don't care what you say. They just are. That's how God made them. I've got 2 of each. Trust me, they're different. And then you have personality types. You can have 2 girls and they have completely different personalities. So that needs to be taken into consideration. So I'm always reading lots of books. Some of my favorites, there's a great one, write this one down, called Free Range Parenting. Free Range Parenting, great book. Just a great book. Just talks about, just give your kids some rope. Like, just give them some space. I let my kids at 7-year-old ride their bike to the IJ. It's safer today for your kids to be out and about than in 1980. There's less pedophilia, less crime, less kidnapping today than there was in 1980. We hear about it more because we're watching 12 hours a day in news. But trust me, the kids will be fine. Free range parenting is one of my best ones. I'll do my last one, and that is this. What's my favorite quote? That's easy. I'm probably one of the oldest people on this call. I was talking to Ange the other day, and we realized that with the 20-year age gap, there's some things that she doesn't know that I know, and there's things that she knows. I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. You get old fast. You just do. Anyone tells you different is lying. I've always had friends that are 20 years older than me. If you're 30, you should have some friends that are 50. If you're 50, you should have some friends that are 70. And not just your parents, your grandparents. I mean, mentors, friends, people you go have lunch with 5 times a year, because they have some things to tell you at 70 that you don't know at 50. And at 50, you have some things to tell people at 30 that they don't know yet. And one of them is it goes fast. When I was 40, I interviewed 40 different men and I had my first kid and got married at 40. And remember, no dad, left home at 15, blah, blah, blah. And I interviewed all these men and they said to me, I asked them for the secret to life and tell me what the wisdom is and what the key is. And they all had different opinions about what was the secret to life and what was important and so forth. But they all said a couple of things. And one of them was, I can't believe how quick I got old. Now, if you're 28 and 30 on this call, you do not understand that. But trust me, 32 to 40 feels like it takes forever, and 40 feels like this foreign number that's far away. And then when you get to 40 to 50 goes so fast. And my friends that are 70 will tell you that your 50s go in 5 minutes. And if you don't believe me, look at your kids and look how fast they're growing. How fast they're growing is how old we're getting. Off the back of that, my favorite quote is to live deliberately. Every day I want to get up and make decisions to be deliberate in my time, deliberate in my intentions, deliberate in my focus. Not looking to be perfect, not looking for what other people think of me. I'm only looking to live deliberately in alignment with the 5 things that matter most to me. At the end of the day, when I put my head on my pillow or when I brush my teeth and floss tonight, at the end of the day, what matters is I like who I see in the mirror and I like who I talk to when I close my eyes at the end of the day. To support you, a couple of things. If you guys go to Instagram and follow me, I'd really appreciate that if this has been valuable. Also, I've got a cool little workbook that I think you'll find valuable. I'm a simple guy that teaches simple things. I've got a simple book. It's called 7 Steps to Get Whatever You Want. Just 7 simple steps I think you should follow. You've got some goals you want to achieve. I'm sure you want to make some money, lose some weight, build a business, be a better parent. 7 simple steps. If you go to the profile, download that link, you'll get that for free. Go read it. I think you'll find it valuable. If you have any questions off the back of that little simple workbook, please be happy to post to me, DM me, message me, and I'll find a way to support you guys. And maybe sometime in the future, and we could do this again if this was valuable for all. Please follow me on Insta. We're trying to build that up and go look at the profile and download that workbook if that's been useful. And if I can help in any way, you guys know where to find me.
Perfect. And just before we go, I encourage everyone, take a screenshot, take a photo of Scott and post it on your social media, tag him.
Please do.
And maybe post the biggest takeaway that you got from this session. Maybe a quote that you loved, a book that you're going to read, something. Let's just really love on Scott and make sure that he sees how much he helped us tonight. Thank you so much, Scott. I appreciate you so much. I'm glad you're my 50-year-old friend.
I am. You're so welcome. Thanks everyone for receiving me so well. I know I'm not part of probably Andrew's normal tribe, so I just remember I'm just like you. Except I'm a dad. I want to work from home. I want to have family first. I want to be healthy. I never want to sacrifice my lifestyle. I like a good lifestyle. I want to make lots of money. But we can do that with solid values and lots of patterns and structures and systems. They make our life easy.
Yeah. Appreciate it so much. We will definitely do this again. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, everybody. Have a beautiful night. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.
Bye.